Meadows of the righteous, 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 meadows of the righteous.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Anbiya'i wal Mursaleen ma ba'd. Fa'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Salatu wassalamu alayka ya Rasulullah wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Habiballah. Salatu wassalamu alayka ya Nabiyallah wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Nurullah. Welcome back to our 12th episode of the series Meadows of the Righteous, where we've been discussing various different topics, Islamic lessons, different traditions, different hadiths and Quranic verses. We have been developing our Islamic understanding and knowledge regarding our Islamic practices and traditions. And today we have a very important topic, and I'll start with this hadith. The Prophet ﷺ said, I pity a certain man. First, I pity the person who the month of Ramadan came, the month of Ramadan left, and he wasn't forgiven. Ramadan came, Ramadan left, and he wasn't forgiven. I pity that person. And number two, I pity the person, he lived an age such that his parents were old, and despite that he still did not attain forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That person who sees his parents at an old age and does not help them, does not serve them, does not respect them, they pass away, even though it was so easy to attain Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's pleasure, he still wasn't forgiven. And the very third person, Prophet ﷺ says that I pity that person upon whom my name was mentioned, but he did not read Darud Sharif upon me, did not recite peace and blessings upon hearing my name. Now, what's the most important one here? All three of them are important, but the one that I want to pick out is the parents. Having respect for parents. In a society that we live in today, we see that parents are disrespected. And today, inshallah, we will dwell into the status of parents and how to attain their love and respect, how to maintain their respect and love, and what things we should do to always make sure that our parents are happy with us. Let's start with the verse of the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا, that I have declared that the parents must be treated with respect, with mercy. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that either one of them, yani the mother or the father, or both of them, the mother and the father, reach an old age in front of you, in your presence, whilst you're still alive. They've become old, they've become dependent. Do not ever rebuke them, do not ever turn them away, do not ever even give a sigh of rejection or unacceptance. What's important here is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِمَّا يَبْلُغَنَّ عِنْدَكَ الْكِبَرَ. The word kibar means in front of you as you're alive, they reach an old age. This is the journey of life. A child is young, and then he reaches an adult age, he reaches his peak, and then slowly his health begins to deteriorate, becomes weaker, and eventually his senses become weaker. Eventually he becomes, even his hearing becomes weak, he ends up having dementia, he forgets various different things. So in life is a pattern. When you were a child, your parents were at their peak. They were healthy, they were wise, they were very clever, intelligent, their senses worked, their health was good. They looked after you. They had mercy upon you. They give you tarbiyat, they raised you. Based on the verse, وَقُلْ رَبِّ ارْحَمْهُمَا كَمَا رَبَّيَانِي صَغِيرًا. Ya Allah, so have mercy upon them the way they Rabbayani. Rabbayani means brought me up as a child. Brought me up as a child. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses parents to bring us up, to raise us by the wasila. So based on that, when we are young, babies, our parents look after us, they do everything for us. I mean, they spend their nights awake, they change our clothes, they clean us, feed us, they protect us. We cry and whinge and do so much different things, and they put up with it. And for them, they just smile, and for them, it cheers them up. It cheers them up. But when we reach our adult life and our parents become old, now it's time to return the favor. It's time to return the favor. And sadly, very sadly, in society, we have seen commonly that our youngsters of this generation, they have never learned the respect of parents. No one's ever taught them the respect of parents. And this is a value that must be, we should kind of pick up. This is like a life lesson that needs to be understood. Respect of parents is the most crucial thing a person can have in him. Our parents are the world for us, and whilst they are still alive, we need to make the most out of them. We need to fulfill all their demands. I'll go through a few things. Sometimes your parents might say something that is off, but remember, as a child, you may have said something that was off. Sometimes your parents might not have enough health to do something that they could have done before. But likewise, when you were young, you didn't have enough understanding to do something. Likewise, your parents, they may have made a decision that was wrong. But when you were a child, didn't you make decisions even though you were wrong? So everything's coming back around now. And now it's your test. This is your test to see how you deal with this test. Will you pass that test or will you fail that test? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is testing you in this way. And specifically, what happens is when they reach an old age, the test starts. And this is a common problem. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala specifies the old age. إِمَّا يَبْلُغَنَّ عِنْدَكَ الْكِبَرَ أَحَدُهُمَا وَكِلَاهُمَا. One of them, both of them, you see them at an old age. It's the old age that's the test. It's the old age where you do the khidmat of your parents to enter and attain Jannah. It's that old age which is what Allah is talking about. What happens in society, in families, in homes, you say, no, but my dad said this, he's not supposed to say that. But that's the test. That's what Allah is saying, that look, when he is old, let's see how you respond. There's a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. Hazrat Abdullah ibn Masud radiyallahu anhu qala sa'altu an-nabiyya sallallahu alayhi wasallam. I asked the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, ayyul amal ahabbu ila Allah ta'ala, which act is most beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Qala as-salatu ala waqtiha. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, reading namaz on time. Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, then which act is most superior? Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, the respect of the parents. Once again, reading namaz on time, obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your true Rabb. And then second was having respect for your parents, being righteous, being noble towards your parents. Another hadith of the Prophet ﷺ mentions, a son will never be able to repay his father. No matter what the son does, no matter what the son does, he will never be able to repay the father. The father's superiority in this father and son relationship is more advanced. The son will never be able to repay the father. A man came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who is more deserving of my companionship? Who is more deserving of my time? Is it my wife? Is it my mother? Is it my father? Who is it? He said, your mother. قال ثم من? Then who? Your mother. قال ثم من? Then who? So third time, your mother. First time, second time, third time, is your mother. قال ثم من? قال is your father. Fourth is your father. Your mother needs your time more than your father. See, your father he's a man. Your father is very important in your childhood, in your nurturing. But your father, he's providing for you. He's sustaining your house. He's looking after your entire surroundings. But the mother, she is giving you your education. She is providing you your tarbiyat. When your father's not there, it's your mother in charge, who's giving you life lessons and values and affection. So maintaining the respect of your parents, always keeping them, being respectful towards them is a very crucial thing. We should control ourselves. We should control our tongue. Speak good or stay quiet. Do dua for our parents in every single namaz. Your parents are very important. There's loads of little gestures that you could do to make your parents happy. For example, just ringing them and telling them, look, today I am, going to do this, this, and this. I need your du'as. The companions, they would always go towards the Prophet, say, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I'm going to do this. Should I do it? Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would give them a du'a and just get his blessings. And that's what parents do. They give you blessings, and we should never deprive ourselves from those blessings. We should always, always, always get them blessings. So whenever we are making a big decision in life, whether it is marriage, whether it is purchasing a property, or whatever it is, a business deal, we should never ever exclude the blessings of our parents from that deal. We should always get their du'as. We should never ever leave their du'as behind. That is a sign of unfortune when you miss out on your parents' du'as. Your parents' du'as are the most valuable thing in life. There's certain incidents where I remember speaking to someone. He never used to do khidmat of his parents. He never used to give them a glass of water, whatever it is, go to the shop for them. He never had this mindset, and because he was this type of person who was a man of ego. And when this person got married, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tested him in such a way, which is when he got married, he was living happily, but his wife fell ill and she became unable to do certain things. And now for the rest of his life, he has to serve his wife for the rest of his life. So even though this person was a man of ego and would say to himself that I can't run errands for anyone, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has turned the table so much for this individual that now for the rest of his life he has to serve his wife. Now he's washing the dishes at home. Now he's cleaning the table. Now he's looking after the children. Now he's vacuuming the house because the wife can't do it. And this person constantly remembers himself in the younger days. He knows that because I never respected and done khidmah of my parents, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has turned my life into a life of khidmah. And he regrets one point, that if I was going to do khidmat in my life, I think the only person or the only people I should, quote, and would have done it for is my parents, but I've lost that opportunity now. This is the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's divine plan works. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests us through different things. This could be a punishment, this could be a sign, this could be the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala deals with those people who don't respect their parents. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to be someone that always respects our parents. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always safeguard us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from disrespecting our parents. Ameen bijahi nabiyyil ameen. Sallu ala al-habib sallallahu ala Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Meadows of the righteous, 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 meadows of the righteous.